So you have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups represents someone who loves love, who wears their heart on their sleeves, who pretty much wants love. And I kind of knew that this wouldn't be a simple reading, and I got that feeling, and this next card confirmed it. So you got My Fear Is, and it says 28. The nightmare, it says anxiety, creative block, and heaviness. So it's basically like you want love, but you also fear it. And whatever reason that is basically it deals with your past somehow, or maybe your childhood, maybe the way that you received love from your parents, whatever that may be. And your next card is I Am Searching, which I found this at the bottom of the deck, and I thought it was very much aligned with this reading, so I brought it out. It says initial project, learning, training, blessing of loneliness. So it's pretty much like you were meant to be alone for a bit here to kind of learn how to trust and know that love is right. Because maybe the way that you received it growing up, the way that you learned what love is wrong. Because that is what you were used to growing up or receiving love in that way. When in reality, if you compared yourself to a different family that had a normal upbringing or who had a normal relationship with everyone, their version of love was so much more different than yours. You had to kind of learn that, what you know about love isn't really the truth. So the next card here is Trust, which is basically what we just mentioned here. So it's you kind of learning how to trust and know that the moment will come when the time is right and when you've done enough healing as well. So let's pull a few cards from a different deck to get more information. Your next card here is the Pink Dolphin. It says celebration, fun, unbridled joy, and open heart. So it kind of seems like you did a lot of the work already. You kind of learned that, my version of love isn't normal. What I grew up with isn't normal at all. And I've kind of had to learn how to relearn how to love basically from the ground up. And this is like your process right now. This is what you're going through. And I think in celebration and fun, you kind of learned, it's kind of saying here that you've learned all of this. And I think you're really close to the end here where you're kind of lonely searching for love. But let's, pull a few more cards before we get too ahead of ourselves. Your next card here is Ride the Waves. It says life lessons and growth, and you will get through this. So pretty much it's kind of like you just trusting the process rather than you knowing like, okay, the time is right in 2 weeks all of a sudden, or the time is right tomorrow. That's because the tarot reader on TikTok said so. No, like you just kind of have to ride the wave like the cards say. Know that it'll come to you when the moment is right. No one is going to tell you when that moment is. You just kind of have to live your life, raise your vibration, know that things are going to be fine, and when the time is right, it'll come to you. So you need to be more content with your life, how it is now, alone, rather than constantly searching for someone else. And that is like a really strong message here. But let's get one more card to close that out, since that was a very clear message. Okay, so you got two cards here. I'm covering one up because I don't think it's safe for me to post. But the first card is the Sacred Well, which is underneath. That says replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. And then above that, we have the Mother of the Salt Waters. It says passion, wild love, open your heart, and let love in. So maybe what's going on here is that you've learned the lessons. Maybe love is here for you and you're kind of scared to let it in because of everything that's happened in the past. So it's kind of like this whole story of like you learn to you've relearned to love and you basically found it and you're kind of scared to kind of get things started. And your guides are like, no, go ahead. Like, this is it. This is what we want you to do. This is what we've been training you for. And you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. It's kind of scary. But your guides are saying, like, go ahead, do this. Everything will be fine. As long as you don't lose yourself. Self care, you replenish your energy, and you are giving from a place of plenty. So know when your limits are. And that is so important for you. As long as you don't lose yourself and you self care and you have a love in your life and it's trying to come to you and you let it in, everything will be fine. But if you're acting from a place of like hurt or a place of fear, a place of like tiredness, you know, it's not going to work out. But you'll kind of know that. But what your guides are saying here that it's fine to let love in. So that is it for you. I hope this reading helped you. Please don't forget to follow, like, and comment. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked in my bio. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.